Okay, good evening. It's 26th of February. It's midnight here, and it's quite warm actually. But I am here giving a recap session for the 26th of February 2026. Okay, hope you all had a good trading day. Again, for me, it was great. I can't complain. What can you say? But anyway, so as the topic or says, what's up with NVIDIA? I mean, they NVIDIA had its earnings yesterday. It was a great earnings. The beats on across all fronts. But you know, look down today, he was literally down. But before we do that, I'm just quickly going to share my screen, and we'll so you can see what I'm looking at, literally. So we had the cues. Oh, where am I? Sorry, trying to share my screen right there. Okay, so we shall see. It's quite interesting because I once did a video and I realized at the end of the video I wasn't talking. But anyway, so first and foremost, somebody asked today, oh, why are we getting a correction? Look at that. We're still very much, tiny inches from all-time high. So, and then again, kind of say this every night, we are still consolidating in a very, very tight zone for the past 4 months since October. So that's number one there. But number two is the fact that I think with NVIDIA yesterday, people thought, oh, once NVIDIA happens, that might be what's going to get the market out of its tight range. But um, I'm sorry, it did not happen. So but we're still here anyway. But let's see how NVIDIA played. I'm not going to dive into the earnings, but look at that. It shed 5%. People say after NVIDIA, it's the NVIDIA. Look, it's a $5 trillion dollar market or $4.5 trillion dollar market. But one thing I'm going to say is that look at the earnings. It just keeps going, 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 going. One thing I shared yesterday was I said I think this is priced in. And what do I mean by this is priced in? I mean, NVIDIA will literally have to create a new country for the markets to take them extra serious because again, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been trading right here since it hit the 212. As far as I'm concerned, there's been a lot of things priced in NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA is literally working with almost every tech company out there. And again, speaking of tight range again, where is NVIDIA? Look, I mean, I could tell you could look at that, but I think this is a lot better actually, since we hit this level since July. So in 8 months, should we say nine? NVIDIA has barely done anything noticeable. So, if I'm going to say, again, NVIDIA has been trading on, there you go, that's about 24%. But, okay, I mean, if I want to be a lot more seeking agenda, but I don't care. Yep, it's been about bouncing up and down 13%. You could say hasn't made any money since November last year. You might say November is not much, but yeah. So it hasn't jumped up, it hasn't come down, but it's been trading within a very, very super tight range. And since if you're going to extend it, you could say, outside that upper rally week there. NVIDIA's actually been compressing along 18%. So if you understand how you can trade within a range, within a tight range, I think you probably will be able to take advantage of this NVIDIA. But I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I don't have a horse in this race or a dog in this fight. So as far as I'm concerned, I actually did avoid NVIDIA. I just don't care. It's good for the market, liquidity. But if I see something interesting, I'll take it. Also, IBM had a whack. And I think this is something I said to the group today. It's been bouncing back, and you could see it right here between this channel, this break. Look, I'm a naked trader. I don't need to have many indicators on my screen to trade. And you can see it right there. It's coming for this right here. And that's what I think I will be looking at, about 255-ish. That's the next thing I'll be looking at for IBM. Also, I didn't really look at PayPal today. I think PayPal deserves some rest. And of course, quite all right. Did a 4%. Okay, now we also had lights. It's quite interesting. Momentum. City had a target of 560 to 800. And of course, there's also an optical conference coming on. Look, 765 now. Like I always say, these guys are price chasers. The analysts, they chase stocks up. It's not for me to comment. I don't like a good pattern, but I think I'm a bit late on this one here. Again, GLW. It's another one here. City loves it, but it's quite interesting actually because they do not like ALAB. Yeah, I mean, this is all electronic conductors, corporations. Yeah, but they don't like this. And I would have thought this is a better price play pattern display. But look, I'm not City. Also, Deutsche Bank said after the Anthropic conference the other day that look, AI is not going to destroy the software, but rather it's just going to add another layer to it. Now, what do we have after that? Let's look at IGV, which is kind of like the biggest software ETF. And I think I called IGB in the group since we mentioned it. I said I like it from, let's see. So, I do have a dog in this fight, unfortunately, I've got to say. IGV, that was yesterday. I don't know if it's going to make sense to you. My pigeon here. As I did say, pay attention to IGV, looking at 77. And if he hits, but regardless, it's a good one. The stock constituent, sorry, is what we want. What do you mean entropy? And again, if you look at it, we had a cut just around 76. So yeah, kind of bounced out for 77. So like I said again, dipped a little bit of a toe in here. It's been playing, which is not bad at all. From the constituents of IGP, we have Palantir as well, which has been doing well. I mean, when these individual stocks start bouncing gradually, then of course IGV is going to make a move. Palantir consolidating, it looks like it's not further going down, but we shall see. We have Now as well. Now is another one. I saw this go below 100, 109 today. But this is not great for IGV. Duolingo. I think Duolingo is one of the IGV components or constituents. And Duolingo, I sincerely believe this is just a pure undercut rally that we have here. I think we definitely should, well, not financial advice to anyone at all. I expect this to be an undercut rally before it eventually bounces. This is one thing I said. And I just said, there goes your Duolingo starter position. Is it going to go to zero? I mean, that's the way markets pricing it, as if it's, as if Duolingo is going to zero. And even if it's going to go to zero, it's not going to be in a straight line. It's going to give us positions right here to make our dip. So that's what I thought. 92 is quite a deep value play. Again, we are traders. I don't know what your strategy is, but I'm just sharing what I share with the community, with the team. Okay, so that's Duolingo there. Now that is that on the corporate slash earnings. We do have quite a bit more earnings. I think also this was a quiet one. Zoom. Honestly, I expected this from Zoom. It's right. They play right into AI. It's nothing you can say. Do not expect Zoom not to come down. Unfortunately, that's just like I said again. That's what I expected. I'm coming with a shocker. We have Zscaler as well. Zscaler, what did it do? Again, this one here, I was looking at it. I did a bit of calculation. I expected this to bounce, cuts right there. and then reverse. It's going to be like a TTD-like play, Zscaler. Anyway, also, ah, XYZ. This one here, I expected a great play. I put it out there, I put the play, and I think this got a very, very low bar. And of course, it's just the way I thought it was going to play. We had after hours 23%. I think it went as high as 28, 30%. And also we had a shocker uh from Jack Dorsey when he said, he's cutting the Jack Dorsey said he's cutting the employees by 50%. I mean, apologies to, or sorry about that. If you've been affected, of course, you've got to find another way, train yourself and get something else. So this is a great play, actually. It kind of just played into our hands. But let's talk about the not so great EOSE. This is a retail favorite, and it just got caught decimated. This is just like it happened with ODD yesterday, decimated. I didn't really follow the earnings here, but you know, I mean, was I expecting much? I don't know. So anyway, this was brutally attacked, and look at the earnings. I mean, the earnings was a 382% disappointment, and then of course the revenue, 38% disappointment. So I believe there's a lot of tailwinds here, which is bad. I honestly stay away from whatever retail is calling sometimes. Don't follow social media, learn from it, but you've got to be able to make your mind up ultimately. And that's just the way I see. Also, I think I was reading about Dell before I talk about Netflix. Dell again, it's double beats, 11%, amazing. I didn't really see much in here, so I was undecided. But also there's I think the Warner Bros. Paramount didn't Warner Bros. Give the earnings tonight? Yes, I thought they did. Okay. Anyway, the Warner Bros. Paramount's whole fiasco. We just, yeah, 20 today, yeah. But this is kind of locked in really. But we just want to hope it comes to an end anytime soon, because Netflix though seems to have been quietly moving on. And you could see Netflix from their low, oh my goodness, look at that, from a low 80 now at 91%. Whatever happened there, that's impressive. Great news from Net. I think because Paramount decided they were going to go with Warner Bros. Or whichever way. And look at that, the way Netflix reacted. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant reaction right there. Not, 8% move. So you could tell Netflix is moving on, and straight away, and that's it. Great for the investors here. I think we did cut this as well in, I think it was 78. So yeah, I didn't play personally, but we did cut to 78. I personally thought it was just enough. It's time for Netflix reversal, and that's what you can see there. Okay, what's the next one? Based on my notes, let's see. Okay, yes, we also did have, jobless claims today. I think he was at 212,000. The forecast was 216. So not a lot in terms of market mover. I think it was great. And that was it really. So, but anyway, we do still have some earnings tomorrow. And we shall see how it goes. Tomorrow is not, if I see anything that stands out, yeah, we're going to have Alibaba before the market opens. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned with Alibaba Pop, the Alibaba Pop for me will be a sell, but that's just for me. So yes, while I want it to pop, just so I can just, I think it's going to be a short. Everything has just been looking downwards for a while now. So yeah, the pattern just says keep shorting this one. That's what I see. We also have SQM tomorrow. Quite a few more. Even Macy's during the market tomorrow, but we shall see. And then from next week. Is it next week? Bear with me. there you go. Next week we shall have March. March, there you go. Yeah, next week we shall start having, oh, still got quite a lot of companies next week. And then retail comes in. Oh, Adobe's on the 12th of March. Things should start picking up. Oracle definitely, and a few more. Dollar Tree, yeah. Um, targets which I'm interested in, and deck as well. Been talking about this for a few months. Don't know where, I thought target should say 120 before then. Yeah, just about 11 days. So there should be some interest in targets just before the earnings. Deck as well. Oh, Deck had a great earnings actually just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I don't even know Chipotle as well. I think Chipotle had the earnings, yeah, earlier this month. So all these guys start coming in, and we'll say, you know, we're moving away from from the banks now, and then straight to to the retail. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes anyway. See what we have tomorrow, and then of course I shall see you on the field. I think there was a bit of Iran and US trying to get to negotiation that actually kind of curtailed the pop from oil today. I've been looking at oil, but I think I kind of took a break from oil just to focus a bit more on something else, and again look a bit more at the European market, which has been good for me anyway. But different strategies, different markets. You've got to be able to adapt and be flexible. But anyway, until then, I shall see you in the field and you have a good night. Bye bye.